Hi, this is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. If S, P, and T are constant and x squared plus sx plus p equal x plus t squared for all values of x, what is the value of p? Statement number 1, s is equal to 8. Statement number 2, t is equal to 4. We have another quadratic equation here, except we don't have 0. We have a factorization of the quadratic form. So let's write that down again here. X squared plus sx plus p, we are told, is equal to x plus t squared. If you rewrite this, it's the same as x plus t times x plus t. Okay, we can see here that if we were to write that x squared plus sx plus p equals 0, we're gonna have x equal negative t twice. So really, negative t is the root of x squared plus sx plus p equals 0. And it's a double root. So negative t here is a double root. It has twice. Negative t is a double root. That's what's called. Okay? Now remember that in a previous video I said that p is the product of the roots and s is the negative of the sum of the roots. Okay? P is negative t times negative t, because negative t is the actual root, not t. So this is the same as t squared. S is the negative of the sum of the root, negative t plus negative t. Once again, negative t is a double root. That's why I wrote it twice here. Negative t plus negative t. So this is the same as negative of negative 2t, right? And s has to be 2t. Okay? If we were dealing with numbers, this would have been straightforward. Since we're dealing with variable, you have to be careful. You have to distinguish the root from what you usually see when you do the factorization. As I said in a previous video, when you do the factorization, what you see is not necessarily the root. It may be the opposite of the root. Usually it is the opposite of the root. So be careful about that and watch the previous video in order to clarify that matter. Okay. Having said that, now we are being asked to find the value of p. Now some of you, if we go to number 1, you're gonna just plug the 8 over there. You can do so. You can plug here and maybe even expand the x plus t squared. Some of you are gonna be tempted to expand that, and absolutely you can do that. I'm just using a slightly different method here, but you could have plugged the 8 here and then expand this, and from there try to compare the coefficients of x squared, the coefficients of x, and so on. It's a slightly different method, but really they have the same goal of figuring out if you can find p or not. So let's write down the fact that s is equal to 8. So s has to be equal to, as you can see, 2t equal 8. S is equal to 2t. We have demonstrated that. So this means that t is equal to 4. But we're not being asked to find t, we are being asked to find p. But p is a product. P is equal to t squared, which is equal to 4 squared. So we have been able to find p using what we know about the product of the roots and the sum of the roots. Okay? Number 1 is sufficient. Number 2, we are given that t is equal to 4. This one looks like it's going to be easier. P is equal to t squared. We've demonstrated that from what we have here, that p has to be t squared, as you can see here. So p is equal to 4 squared equals 16, just like here. 2 is sufficient as well. Okay? Number 1 is sufficient. Number 2 is sufficient. So in data sufficiency terms, the correct answer is D. D as in dog. So D is the correct answer. So you can see here how important to know that P is the product of the roots and S is the opposite of the sum of the roots. This is not the only way to do this question, but if you know this, it definitely makes everything faster. You know, if you want to do it another way, you can try that by expanding this and comparing the coefficients, but I like this way. I really like it. Thank you for watching. This is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org.